Easter to you. How are you doing? How was the celebration? It's still on. Today is a public holiday, and I believe you're having a swell time wherever you are, enjoying your Easter, thanking God for all the good things that He has done for you. Welcome to the front page review. My name is Mary Onaife. Debbie here. I'll serve you the headlines from all of the newspapers that I have. I think I have about 6 of them. And then we'll discuss some of the issues in the news, the hot topics. I know it's a public holiday, and we know that most times when we look at the stories from all of these newspapers, there's usually woes, doom, sad news, and all of that. But today we'll try to keep it light, interesting, thankful, because it's Easter, and we have a lot to be thankful for. So when you call in, after you comment on the story, comment on the news item, you could just give your Easter message and also talk about the things that you are thankful for. We are thankful that Nigeria is won. We're thankful that the elections are done. We are thankful that the naira scarcity, the naira crunch is over. So there's a lot to be thankful for. So welcome to the front page review. It's 2 minutes past 7. Let's begin this morning with the Vanguard newspaper. Supplementary pools, oppression parties rally to seize control of NAS. It has a rider says eyes to Gubal, 5 senatorial, 31 reps, and 57 states assembly seats. Opposition lawmakers elect speak. Federal government initiative on non-oil export falling. Also, the rider says contribution to gross earning drops to 10%. Nasima, CPPE, others list priorities for incoming government. War attack, ties security as worshippers congregate 10 months after. Nigeria frustrated with election outcome, says Kuka. The rider reads, says justice seems impossible. Ask Nigerians to reclaim the Nigeria they knew before Buhari. Now to the Punch newspaper, federal state lawmakers to get 49 billion naira. Subsidy removal, marketers plan 30,000 gas stations, 6 CBN loans. Asset declaration, defaulters may be removed from office. Also from the Punch this morning, Prophet's wife flee country after DSS arrest. Federal government bars online banks from accessing customers' photos and contacts. Supreme Court delivered 272 judgments in 7 months, says CJN. Now we'll move to the Nation's newspaper this morning. Governors under pressure over security vote spending. And the Senate indict budget office over illegal 19 billion naira payment. The story is on the Nation's newspaper. Pope, cleric urge trust, unity in Easter message. Also from the Nation's newspaper, Sultan seeks can support to stop hate speeches on pulpits. Okay, and also from the Nations this morning, we have that NLNG inaugurates world-class neurosurgical stroke center for UCTH. Now to the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. It says CNG reject calls for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Benue, armed invaders killed 134 in 5 days, says author. And Bola Ajibola used talent to advocate for justice, says Buhari. Owo attack. Owo church reopens 10 months after terror attack. You get a story from the Daily Trust newspaper. Now to the Sun newspaper this morning. Enugu APC suspension of Nnamani Chime, others unconstitutional, legal advisor. And 30 days enough to do away with election cases, Anglican bishop tells Nigerian courts. Groups endorse Kalu for Senate president. You get the story from the Sun newspaper. Now to this day newspaper, Northern aspirant moved against zoning National Assembly leadership position by APC. The rider says North Central may retain national chairmanship slot. Northwest, South, South, Southeast jottle for Senate President speakership. And Buhari fumes as gunmen again kill over 40 in Benue IDP camps. The writer says Autumn appeals to president to match words with action. Doctors reject move to clamp down on migration of medical professionals. And finally, from this day newspaper, in Easter message, Kuko says Nigerians are ready to reclaim this country. And from the Punch newspaper, I didn't take one story. It says that bandits slash ransom for 85 Zamfara adoptees. Now, these are your headlines from all of these newspapers. There are many more. We just pick some of them so we could tell you the headlines and then analyze some of the stories here. So I'll connect with Rufa Hosseini now, and then we'll get talking. Remember, we are streaming live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now, so you could be part of the conversation on YouTube. Good morning to you, Rufai.
Morning, Mary. How are you? Bless you.
I'm doing great this morning. Happy Easter.
Thank you so much. He's risen. He's the reason of the season. Christ is risen. Resurrection will abide with Nigeria. But like I said yesterday on my Sunday show, if we want to feel resurrection in Nigeria, one, learn to tell the truth. Two, do what is right. Three, accept our faults. And four, ensure that we truly love the country and we don't just see it as a place to come and hammer and leave and go and buy houses abroad.
Now, if talking about the Easter, if one wants to look at what has happened in the country over this last few months, there's a lot of gloom and doom. But if we look at it, what is it that we are grateful for as a country right now? What are the good things we are grateful for?
Number one, we are grateful because we still have a country, and we thank God. Grateful for the country holds. Nigeria holds a lot of potential. But the problem has just been leadership. Nigeria holds a great potential. See, if we get leadership right, Nigeria could be a superpower in 10 years, despite the fact that we have a lot of problems on ground, debt and all of that. Thirdly, we are grateful for people. Yes, some people can be very funny in Nigeria, but the truth is you still have good and decent people of conscience that know what is right and they ask for it, despite all sorts of challenges they face every time. So I think that's the most important thing for me because it is people that make a nation. The quality of every nation is incumbent on the people. So we're grateful for the potential this country has got, grateful for the great people it's got, despite the fact that other people don't like to say things the way they are because it benefits them. And also we're grateful that we still have a country.
Yeah.
And we'll continue unity and the togetherness of this country because together we can do so much more. But the problem has just been leadership. And please, and that's why I beg Nigerians, don't allow politicians divide you, with tribal bigotry. There is nothing like when politicians want to steal and loot the country's money, they don't think of the tribe they are from. A Yoruba man is united with an Igbo man and a Hausa man in corruption. But it is when they want to divide you with poverty that they remind you that you are not from the same area, right, with other people. So please don't allow them divide you. Everybody up there, all the big men in this country, they are from different ethnic groups and they are united because they are both stealing government money and doing all sorts together. Please don't divide you. And let the lesson of Easter be for all of us. One lesson that really stuck with me this Easter is the resurrection power. And that was the reopening of the St. Xavier Church in Ondo.
Yeah.
That since those killings those church, it took a befitting time and a symbolic time like Easter to be able to resurrect, that church. And for me, that story really endeared me. And for me, that was one of my best stories this weekend. But let's not also forget the sad reality that my dear, my great Ebo, the editor of Daily Tribune, and my dear friend, Ebola Sisi, wrote an article this morning that's very instructive. And he said that the terrorists are back. And truthfully,
Oh
when you
yes, yes. I will
when
go on.
uh, you will see that the terrorists truly are back. A lot of killings, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of sad moments. You will truly see that the terrorists are back, and that's one thing we have to deal with, and which is very sad. So let us look at it and let our government try as
You,
much as possible.
you know that when you mentioned these bandits are back, this story just stood out for me. You know, in Zamfara, they kidnapped some people, I think about 85 people in Zamia village. And now the bandits are asking that they've reduced the ransom price to 20,000 naira per person. So imagine a country where you kidnap a whole person and you are demanding for 20,000 naira. That's even feeding money.
And you see, one of the arguments I kept on making is, you see, when we had that naira, what is it called? There was a reduction because one of the reasons for it was stifling that cash line to them. So, secondly, also now see what is happening. It has resumed fully because the bandits now know there's a of the old notes. Even the question is, why is it that we cannot, and I ask again, we cannot ensure that our security forces nip all of this in the bud? Why? Those are the big questions we should ask. Those are the big questions we should ask. Why is it that we ensure that our security forces nip all of this in the bud? Look at the one that you reported the other day that happened in Gowon Estates. What was the solution? Nothing. We didn't see any. Ralo, rabo. That's what Yorubas will say. We see this city going, we didn't see the coming. Till today, security has not been able to rise up. All right. Look at the wonder one that happened in Akere Market. That the people, the arsonists that came in, killed people. We didn't see anything. Today, till to date, we've not seen the end of that investigation. All right. So, what country are we really building? And those are the questions I keep asking people. What country are we building? What country are we building? That's why I keep talking all the time, and I hope our leaders will listen. Because we need to build a country that is safe, that is secure for people.
You know,
So
okay, in Benue now, the governor there, Othom, is crying out. He said they've killed about 130 people in 5 days.
you see what we are saying?
As I'm wondering what is the situation there. It's very alarming. Even the president had to talk about it, say something that security forces should double their effort. But the killings there, the killings
And and,
every time you hear in the news, I saw
and
the
when
pictures. The mothers, their husbands are taken, children killed. It's really sad what's happening.
and when I say the government has failed, people start to say I'm biased. I just look at it, and this was the same President Buhari that said, Mary, that he will reduce insecurity before his administration ends. It is just about 1 month for him to go now. The same, what is it called, has not ended. Look at Ben, we are back to it. And why is it that all of it just started back all of a sudden? During the election period, there was no insecurity. All right?
Yeah.
There was insecurity. So why is it that all of this just started again?
That's a puzzling question. Were the
Just
bandit
started again.
were the bandit preparing for elections? That's why they stopped the trade.
But
Oh,
during the Naira
oh,
policy, we didn't see cases of bandits. In fact, we even heard a story of bandits saying that people should go and bring the new notes, and their activities were greatly reduced. The question is, what happened? All of a sudden, this started again. Okay, during the election, we only had one story of Boko Haram. You know, what is it called?
Giving out the money.
Raging.
Some of them were,
No,
some of the bandits were throwing around the new notes. So I remember that story too.
yeah, there's one back we're doing out in But apart from that, since then we didn't get anything again. But all of a sudden, it's resumed to activity. So the question is, what do we want for ourselves? I ask. What do we want as a country? And those are the things we should reflect on in the spirit of the resurrection.
You know that I think 2 days ago, when Chimamanda wrote a letter to Biden, I know we discussed it here, and you said all what she wrote actually were true. They're not like she was making things up. But when you hear someone like FFK saying that what she wrote was garbage, and you see him critiquing what she wrote, not with facts, you wonder, do we really want to move forward? What is your argument? Are your argument against the truth? So when you said that we need
No,
to be discussing the truth here, we need to tell ourselves the truth, then you're 100%.
I'm sorry, I don't take anything that's very seriously, with all due respect. I don't take anything it says seriously because go and look at him, check his integrity. He's a man that says one thing today and says one thing again. Look at all the things he said in 2019. Maybe he called the APC a demonic, devilish party that he will never go to. Why is he the APC today? He said all sorts. Maybe he talked about how people had commandeered Lagos, that somebody claims is the godfather of Lagos. So why is he with that person today? So you see, when you want to talk about things, you try to talk about people that have a modicum of integrity that can stay forward to a thinking process and say, this is my position on an issue. I mean, obviously, I've never seen that somebody like that can give a clear position on an issue that is believable because based on his antecedents. And what Chimamanda wrote, I saw my Twitter page the other day because I like objective critical analysis and conversation. I said, please, somebody should point out one lie in the thing Chimamanda wrote. They've not been able to give me one answer. They've not been able to give me one answer. Somebody should point out one lie. Did we not have issues with IRF? Did we not have all the issues we talked about? Some even now made an argument that she said she openly supported Obi. But that's what they call full disclosure. Even foreign magazines, international media does it. When you are writing an article about somebody, you tell them your position on it. But that doesn't state your objectivity. Because she supported Obi, didn't stop her objectivity in the article from saying the things that happened as they were. Were there not killings in Lagos? Mary, were you not on the streets of Lagos? You cover the streets, the elections, the governorship elections.
Yeah.
Didn't you remember how them Esther and some of our reporters had to duck for safety when the problem started? Eh? Didn't VOP cover it? Didn't they try to disenfranchise the people of VGC that we started mounting pressure? And they voted the next day, and they still went there to disrupt the vote. Why is everything caught on camera? So I don't know why people are trying to tell us that what happened before our eyes never happened. But we know the tricks. It's called gaslighting. It's not them that will first use it. The likes of Hitler first used it many years ago. All right? It's called gaslighting. In fact, the master of propaganda is a man called Goebbels. You think that happened, you tell people it never happened.
Now, because of time, I want you to talk on this subsidy removal because marketers they plan 30,000 gas station and they are seeking CBN loan. The rider says gas station to cushion subsidy removal effect as a PMS may sell for 750 naira per liter. NATO wants end to subsidy. NLC to meet incoming government over removal. Now, the oil marketers, they've written to the government over a proposal to build 30,000 gas stations to cushion the effect of the proposed subsidy removal, premium motor spirit. That's 30 gas stations. That's huge. And they are asking the CBN for loan to do this. And also saying that the petrol may sell for 750. We don't know the calculation behind this, but this scares a lot of people. I think they should come out right with the amount. Saying 750 without giving us a breakdown puts the fear in a lot of people. Some people have said, some people that have calculated this said it's not going to be up to 750. Maybe
No, I don't. I think it was just. I don't know why the stakeholders forum just aggravated people with that seven. Let's discontinue that seven. I think when Pengasin calculated it, they were talking about 400. All right. So I don't think we should bluster people with all of that 750 narrative. But you see, when I hear that marketers are now
yes.
talking about, it's also a revelation of our incompetence. Minister Pritimi Priye Silva, a couple of years ago, started talking about CNG. In fact, he even said there was going to be money for people to convert their cars. The minister did not continue with the plan. Now the minister wants to run for governor in Bayelsa. Yeah. You can see our society. The minister failed on something he announced himself. It was me and you that went to meet him to announce CNGO. He came to the public, started announcing CNG. The project will not follow through to the end. Then he wants to run for governor of Bayelsa as we speak today. If I say that one now, they will say Rufai is biased. It's what I said now, is it not true? Did he not first announce it? So what we ought to do like 2-3 years ago, we have not done it. So it's you overnight we want to build 30,000. And now we
That's
are
the
going to
question.
30,000 gas stations. And now we are going to collect 800 million for a palliative program that they say is going to be based on national register that a lot of people have contested, that we can't account for. The same people that they were giving money in their hands during COVID-19, a lot of people were complaining about that. How can you account for it? But what even makes up the people on the national register? And that money is not a grant, it's a loan by the World Bank. So added to the loan we've collected to the World Bank, if you just add 200 billion to that money, that's 1 billion again. And a lot of people they are already skeptical of how will this money be managed. In a case we don't use that money well, so we'll just have another $1 billion added to our loan bill that we cannot account for effectively. So those are the problems we have in the country. Yeah, I don't think they should use that money to give any family something. Can we use it to improve education or health outcomes?
You know,
I think those are better. I think we can set targets. With that money, we can set targets for education and health outcomes and at least meet those targets. I don't believe in this every time.
it's not far again. No. We're talking about June. June here. That's the countdown to subsidy removal. June. And the demands build refinery before you remove subsidy. Marketers want to build 30,000 gas station all in June. I mean, this is April, May, June.
Mary, the question you should ask is: should be NNPC said they are carrying out turnaround maintenance on the refinery. Why? When is the refinery going to be ready? And what is it going to give us? All right. Will it solve all our? And the question is, why have we not been able to fix our refineries all these years? So those are the questions we ask. And when we ask those questions, they say, "Oh, you are biased. Don't talk about it. Don't you know what's happened in the country?" No, I have a right to be able to ask questions that are empirical and based on the order of things and what society demands. So those are just basic questions. But
Now,
all of a sudden, we are doing turnaround time for refineries. How far? What is it going to produce? What is it giving us? What will be the cocoa?
what has it given us? Not even what
What has
has, because the turnaround maintenance
all,
is been on for a while.
all these years we kept on talking? NNPC said they were paying money for refineries that were not working. Can you imagine? So what has it given us? And please, let's not deceive ourselves. Dangote refinery is not going to be a solution to all of our problems. So because we keep thinking the only thing is going to remove is going to be cost. So we are still going to buy petrol based on the international realities in terms of price, because it's that part of the story we don't tell ourselves. You see, the problem in Nigeria is that we have built a country where people selectively tell themselves what they want to hear and not the truth.
Now,
And you
before I let you go, because our time for commercials it's here already. Federal government state
Yes.
lawmakers to get 49 billion. It says here that salaries and allowances for the incoming lawmakers may cost the country 49 billion naira. This is findings from the news from the Punch newspaper. Now, the figures cover the salaries and allowances of state and federal lawmakers. If it went further to break it down, but when you look at where we are and you hear such figures that's going to be given to lawmakers, and when you see that lawmakers are making laws that doctors should spend 5 years in the country before they are able to get license, before they can travel out, you wonder why do you pay lawmakers this much? 49 billion, and this is not the exact figure. According to the report, it's going to be more, but this is just a summation.
And that's to show you how our political class doesn't really like the country. If that 49 billion they are giving them, and that's why I've always said, I don't know why the National Assembly, see, the reason for corruption in this country is that everybody sees government as a place to make money. I think the first thing that will help this country is de-emphasize money from government. Let it be people that truly want to come and serve. You will see most people will not run for political positions. If you do it in such a way that the barrier entry to politics is service, all right,
Yeah.
you will see people want to serve not going into politics. The reason why a lot of people want to go into politics is because they know that they're going to make a lot of money from it. And in real sense, the people that are supposed to earn in that 49 billion are the doctors, nurses, are the teachers, because those are the fulcrum that builds every society. These are those you should pay well. But you see, the lawmakers, that's all they do. Most of them, what they do and do there is go and sleep. You get? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hold on a minute. Let's go for this short break. When we come back, we'll round off the conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything. Send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Rufal Seni, you're still there?
Yes.
Okay.
So as I was saying,
Yeah.
so you see what happens, that these people are just there for the money and all of that. And that's why you see that they want to stop doctors from going abroad. But none of them have ever thought of passing a bill to make the doctors stay back in Nigeria and Nigeria be so attractive. So, Mary, we know our problems in this country. But the question is, are we willing enough to be able to solve it? Are people really think bigger and say, this thing is not about me. Let's solve this problem so that the country, as long as some people think that they can make Nigeria their cash cow and see what they can exploit from him and take it from him, you see, the country doesn't get a lot better. Me and somebody were talking the other day, and the person was telling me even the worth of most Nigerian companies, and I was shocked. They said they don't even worth too much. And most of the so-called big Nigerian companies, you see, because you see, there's no economic viability and all of that. That you can, couple of million, hundreds of millions of dollars, you can buy most companies on the stock exchange in Nigeria. And that's because the economy has fallen. Many factors of the economy has fallen and all of that. The person told me something. He said in about 15, 20 years ago, that 2 billion naira was $20 million. Today, all right, that 2 billion naira is about $2 million. Just imagine that, Mary. 2 billion naira about 15, 20 years ago was about $20 million. Today, that 2 billion naira is just about $2 million. So in the space of 15 to 20 years, we've taken over 18 billion of the value of what 2 billion naira used to be. $80 million of the value. I'm not even adjusting for inflation. So you see how leadership, and the only way you can explain that is leadership. Because you see, Mary, let me tell you the problem of Nigeria. If you have a resource and you don't have somebody that is resourceful to run the resource will become a thing of frustration. Resource without resourcefulness is frustration. All right? So life is not just about having a resource. It's about having somebody that to manage the resource. So the problem with Nigeria is that we have resources, isn't it? We have crude oil, we have gas, we have everything.
Yes, we have everything.
But resourceful to manage the resource of Nigeria. And that's why we are being frustrated as a country.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Keep saying now, but we don't have resourcefulness. But let me tell you something. In the chain of life, resourcefulness is more important than resource. Because if you have a man that has resourcefulness, even if he doesn't have resource, his resourcefulness will bring resource to him.
I think an example of this can be Dubai. Dubai don't have as much resources that we have, but if you look at the country today, it has transformed.
So what is missing in Nigeria is resourcefulness. We have the resource, but we don't have the resource leadership.
Okay.
And that's why we are frustrated.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rufai. I know there is so much that we could go on talking about, but it's time for us to hear from the people, the voice of the people, to hear the voice of the people.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Enjoy your Easter and happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday.
Bless you, Mary. I appreciate it. Bless you, and thanks for everybody that sent messages and wishes. Bless you all.
Yeah, have a great one.
Yeah, bye-bye, yeah.
Okay, bye. Now, to join the conversation, so much to talk about. Remember, we're still celebrating Easter. So, in the spirit of celebration, the number to call is 081-644-25875. 081-644-25875. It's the number. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mary.
Welcome to the program. What's your name and location?
Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Okay, welcome, Mr. Gabriel. Can you speak up a bit so we could hear you loud and clear?
Okay, I want to talk about terrorist activity. It is very, very painful that in a country like Nigeria, terrorists are butchering people every day. Kidnappers are kidnapping citizens. And the only thing our president could do is to condemn the action and do nothing more. I cannot imagine a country like America, having a group of terrorists coming to kidnap or terrorize any part of that country, and the culprit will not be apprehended or will not go after the citizen will not go after them and be apprehended. I cannot imagine that happening. But every day, citizens are being slaughtered in their own fatherland. This is painful. This is very, very painful. And we have a government, have a president, we have security apparatus, and they are doing nothing about it. I'm seeing all this as a plot to wipe certain ethnic people out of their country, or it could be I don't know exactly what to call it, an agenda by setting a group of people to wipe a particular ethnic society out of their country. I don't know, but this is very, very painful.
Yeah, thank you.
That's my question.
Thank you so much for calling. The phone lines are open. Remember, after you've contributed, say something thankful about the Easter. thanking God for the good things in your life and in our country. Hello, good morning.
My sister, how are you? Good morning.
Happy Easter to you, Mr. Peter Monse. Good morning to you.
Happy Easter to you, my sister. God bless you. God bless this family, the voice of the people.
Amen.
And God bless Rufai Oseni. My happy Easter message to him and his family.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Now, Bishop Kuka is telling Nigerians that yes, you are frustrated after the election, and he says he thinks justice is impossible. And then he advises Nigerians to recover the country that they had before the coming of Buhari. Those are his words. Peter Monse wants to ask, maybe Bishop will tell us also some ways, some means to recover Nigeria that we had. Because Nigeria we have today under Buhari, that the terrorists have now lived side by side with the government. The bandits will kidnap people and they are not living in space. They are not living underground. And they will cut the ransom money. And they still exist here in Nigeria. Inside the government of Buhari, we need to recover that Nigeria. But how? And then Nigeria that we are having unknown gunmen everywhere. The other day they came to Lagos. They went to a particular place. They killed 3 people. We are having those unknown talks. Who will go to a market, burn down the market, they could not be arrested. And then we are having all these things under this government. In the next how many days, this government will go away. Please, how do we recover this country? Because we went out to vote the other time, we said we need a new Nigeria. That we don't want to continue with these killings. We don't want to continue with this suffering. We don't want to continue with Nigerians leaving the country en masse. And then some people stood somewhere. When we vote, they decided to share our vote to the people that they like. How do we recover Nigeria? That's my question. Because then you will call radio station, you will make suggestion, you will say it as it is, as the team Amanda has said now. Though FFK has decided to play Nebuchadnezzar, he doesn't believe God, he doesn't respect God, and he thinks he will continue like this. So my question, anybody that is calling, how do we recover Nigeria that we had before Buhari? When today you want to suggest, the radio stations will cut you off because you want to say something. So please, how do we? Mary, one thing will be put to shame. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Moses. A radio station will cut you off. That part got me. You know, everybody is guided by rules and regulation. Every sane society, there are rules and regulation that must be followed. So when you're cut off, it's because you're stepping out of the rules, the boundaries. So they have to bring you back, and that's why you see the cutting of the calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the program. What's your name and location?
Yeah. My name is Mr. Dex. I'm calling from Memo Odofin.
Okay, great. Go ahead, sir.
So, I want to react to the caption which said that a group is supporting Ojo Zokal to be the Senate president.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that is a good thing. But I want to ask you a question. In Nigeria, do we have a law? I hope in some part of that, our constitution said that an ex-convict cannot hold a political post. Why is Ojo Zokalo and others who are ex-convicts are holding political posts here in Nigeria and reversing for the post of the Senate president here in Nigeria? Do we have a law at all which checkmates all our utterances? I'm sorry that I don't know what to say about Nigeria again because it's a messed up. Anybody can come from prison and become a president. Anybody can come from prison and become a political appointee. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. Now, the groups that endorsed Kalu for Senate President is the Niger Delta Peace and Development Advocacy, NDPA, and South Youth, SSY group. They've endorsed Oji Kalu for Senate President. We're going to take more calls now, but remember you can send a message to us on YouTube and WhatsApp. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mary.
Welcome to the program.
Ikan calling you from Isolo.
Mr. Ikan, welcome, sir. Go ahead.
No, but stop. Ikan, give me the room. Yeah. Mary, please, somebody ask a question. And also, I would also like you to also answer a question to me. Please, can you ask Governor of Benue State if he signed any agreement with any of the group that if he become a governor, that he will do this or he will do that? Why am I saying? He's now lamenting that under 5 days, more than 100 and something people have been killed in the state.
Yes.
Mary, it's very, very pathetic. I see the pain. I am not happy. My heart is not joy with all this information. Why is it that it is only the Benue people that have been killed? The other day in Sokoto, the Fulani and the Hausa, they were also fighting, killing themselves. And the government promised that before he leaves in 29, he will set everything in place. But just still, we are still having more life lost. Why are Nigerians being slaughtered in their own land? The Benue people are not dying because of disease. They are not dying because of any one particular ailment. But people decided to slaughter, to kill, to maim the people. Maybe I am not happy. My heart is bleak because of all these things. It happened to them. What happened to the rest of us? Please, help me ask the governor. I know he was one of the people that go against the open dressing law.
Yes.
Is that why the people who are into that business want to eliminate the whole Benue people? Please, I am not happy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ikan. I appreciate your contribution this morning. And the caller before Mr. Ikan that was referring to Oji Uzokalu as an ex-convict. Yeah, it's true that December 5th, 2019, yes, he was sentenced to 12 years in prison for allegedly stealing public funds while in office. But in another judgment, I think in 2020, May 2020, the courts, they nullified the conviction of the former Abia State Governor, Oji Uzo Kalu. So that judgment has been nullified. So he's not an ex-convict anymore. That's the fact that we have. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mary. This is Mr. Abiyani calling from Motor.
Oh, welcome to the program. Go ahead, sir.
Please, I want to talk on this Nigerian, I'm going to say, what this job Matthew practice. I hope I can speak on it.
Okay, I didn't really hear you. The volume is low. Can you speak up a bit?
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Please, Mary, can't Nigeria be a pacemaker of something? Can't we do that thing for other countries to copy? People be shouting, election is not perfect in every country. But Nigeria can produce election for other countries to learn, to follow. Why must we copy bad things? We're not supposed to be saying that. We're supposed to be following good things. Look at Kenya. People are making Kenya now. Why can't they copy from Nigeria? It's very, very bad. Okay, look. We can say that the judge at the Supreme can do this thing between 30 days. But we be referring to Osun State that this what happened in Osun State. No person is pursuing these judges. They are doing their work. That is their profession. If they want to do it, justice delay is justice denied. If at the end of the day, they do not do anything, depending on can the president use equivalent power? It's possible in Nigeria. So do not be talking about security.
what is right at the right time? Let us do it. Let other country copy from us. Don't let us be saying this is not done anywhere. We can do it. And for other country to follow us. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now we're going to take some comment from YouTube. We'll take from YouTube and then we'll go to WhatsApp. We're starting with, let's go up to the very first message here. Okay, let's see. Please tell, this is from Prince Unwa David TV, said, please tell me if anyone from Southeast and Southwest was counted in the 10 million homes that will share the $800 million palliative. Okay, that's from Prince Unwa David. I had to edit the other part of your message. Another message here from Ajiboy says, beautiful Mary, it's criminal to advise Nigerian citizens to abide to the rules whereby their government is not abiding to the laws of the so-called country. Thank you very much for your message. And we have one here from Sari Anthony. GPS said, please, I need the phone number to call in. Okay, the phone number to call in is 081 644 25875. That's the number. 081 644 25875 is the number to call if you want to call to be part of the program. Now we move on to taking WhatsApp messages now. We have this one says, good morning, Mary. Benue people are killed every day and we are not doing anything. Who are the next people after Benue? Gabby from Mojo. Thank you so much for your message. Happy Easter to you, Mary. Insecurity in our country is really a call for concern, especially in our various churches. Worshippers' centers should be a place of prayer and worship and not a place to go and die. I enjoy the federal government to do more in tackling the security challenges we are widely experiencing in this country. It's unfortunate that after 10 months of a church massacre, our security agencies are yet to provide the persons or group that carried out the attack. From HROH Bison Woko, Shodi. Thank you for your message. The next one says, hello, Mary. Happy Easter to you and all the management staff of VOP. My take on the bill to stop medical doctors from immigrating to foreign lands without a mandatory 5 years practice in Nigeria before they are fully licensed is very bad. Debasing and unprovoked move to fight our medical doctors. Did the government train these doctors for free? Now, they lawmakers should first put a bill in place to stop medical tourism for all levels of government officials, whether elected, employee, or appointed. This will boost our medical infrastructure, yet they don't care. They think they can muzzle everyone. Shame. Lugard from Benin, thank you for your message. I appreciate it. The next one says, good morning, Mary. Trust your night was restful. Thank God for the gift of life and happy Easter Monday to you, Mary. For Oji or Kalu issue, he is not going anywhere. What we want is new Nigeria, all diluted boss milk, pepper them. Thank you so much. I always appreciate your message. Good morning, Sister Mary. SSY is, okay. I don't know. I have to confirm what you said now. If you say I can't read it, if it's a court group, I can't read it. Good morning, Mary. Why must we share innocent blood in our nation, Nigeria? Chibuike from Ojo. I don't know. We don't have to share innocent blood. Biodun, we have Biodun's message here. It says, good morning, Mary. The saddening news from Benue, Zamfara, and other places on senseless kidnapping and brutal killings of our people is a painful pain yet to be healed. It is ethnic cleansing or forceful occupation of farmland, or what is the main cause of these attacks in Benue? Federal government is handicapped and reactive instead of being proactive on steps to curb the evil trend. The question is, when are we getting over this nightmare? The fear of insecurity has affected us in moving forward as a nation. The recent advice from Bishop Kuka to Buhari, Tinubu, the Supreme Court, and the masses is something that gladdens my heart. Only if this advice had adhered to, well, I'm thankful to God for his mercy and protection upon the nation. The resurrection of Christ is a source of joy for a better tomorrow, and let's be hopeful. Happy Easter Biodun from Ikorodu, thank you so much for the message. And this is the last one before we go back to the phone lines. Good morning, VOP. The analyst in the studio asked, why is it that Nigeria security forces could not be fortified to put an end to the insecurity ravaging Nigeria? To answer the question, let me say, okay, it's not so long. To answer the question, in a nation where the government is busy thinking of how to pay humongous salaries and fringe benefits to political office holder, embezzlement, bribery, and corruption is order of the day. Contract allocations and ministerial appointments are based on ethnic, religious relationship and favoritism. What does one expect? To crown it, most of our political leaders are accomplices in the terrorism. Also, our representatives in the government, both in the state and national level, are not representing our interests, but themselves. Again, from Agege, thank you for the message. I have to run through them. Now to the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mary. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great this morning. Thank you for calling. What's your name and location?
My name is Anthony, calling from Indonesia.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Anthony.
Please, I just want Ojus Okalu to know that I think it's not right for Southeast to produce Senate residents this time around. It's not right. So we don't need Senate president now. So he need to go back to Senate and relax. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's your contribution. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, Mary, good morning.
Mr. Great, happy Easter to you. Welcome.
I wish you the best, my sister.
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
You know, when you're starting your program, you say, thank God that Nigeria are one.
Yes, we are one, yes. Mr. Great, go ahead. Oh.
People like France wake up and say, thank God that France are one or German are one. They only talk about how to make the country progress. Mary, I've told a story about, where I went to school. I saw, in Taraba State, probably Okare and the town called Gindindorua. Mary, the go there is no go area again. All my friends that they have been in contact with, many of them, their number have switched up. I don't know whether they are still alive or dead. Killed by this evil flag herdsmen. Mary, over 100 and something people are talking, more than in code brought under 5 days. And the president is there. His kinsmen are there, trying to wipe people of Middle Belt out. When we talk, he say, no, he's a hate speech. No, Mary, it's not a hate speech. When I tell people of Benue, if you close our mouth, they will travel back to their place. Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening to you.
So am I lying? There are some bushes in their place. Their parents will not allow you to enter that bush because of a threat of Fulani herdsmen. Fulani. Actually, we are talking of one Nigeria. When we talk, say, no, it's okay. Don't talk. How can you build a nation under impunity? Do what you do. Look at people like Ojus Okalo. Want to be the president of Senate of Nigeria. It's supposed to be in jail. Now, what do you get? What do you have to offer to Nigerians? Nothing. Precisely, it is not because he's our own, he's our brother, but he doesn't like such a people to be in power because we have traveled all over the world, have been to many parts of the world. That's not how government was. It is wrong. We need a better Nigeria. Like me now, if I tell you now, I'm afraid of my children. Because tomorrow, what is happening in Benue can come down to Lagos, even down to my place after hearing on non-government. Is that a non-government in Lagos State?
Thank you, Mr. Great. Thank you, Mr. Great.
Mary.
Yes,
Mary.
I'm here.
No problem. Nigeria is getting out of hand.
Thank you.
Nigeria is getting out of hand. Killing is much.
Thank you. Our time is up. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your contribution this morning. If you check your time, it's 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, and my time here is up. I wish I could continue and take lots of your calls and your messages, but I can't. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Today is Monday, so tomorrow, Tuesday, I'll be here again for another edition of the program, Front Page Review. My name is Mary Onaife Adebi. You can find me on Instagram. I'm there at Mary Media, Merry Media. I'll be there waiting for you. Coming up next, Okay, Indigbo. Yeah, I got it this time. It's coming up by 8 o'clock. So do not change the dial. Keep it here. We are the voice of the people.